There are moments in life when time stops, when everything around you feels distant, muffled, unreal. Moments when the world you know becomes razor-sharp, but terrifyingly fragile. Moments when your next breath might be your last. Most of us live our lives assuming tomorrow will always come. We plan, we postpone, we argue, we love, with a quiet confidence that we'll get another chance, another conversation, another hug, another sunrise. But the people in this video, they didn't have that certainty in their darkest minutes, when fear wrapped around them like a cold hand, when help was too far away and the unknown closed in. They reached for whatever device they had on them. Not to call for help, not to save themselves, but to leave something behind, a last message, a final memory, a voice that could outlive them even if their bodies didn't. These goodbye recordings aren't polished or rehearsed. They're not dramatic like in movies. They're shaky, breathless, sometimes broken. They capture something we rarely get to witness. A human being facing what they believe is the end. In those moments, fear becomes clarity, regret turns into confession. Love becomes the only thing worth saying out loud. No one talks about money, no one talks about success, no one talks about the things we spend so much of our lives chasing. Instead, they whisper things like, "I'm sorry. Tell them I love them. Please don't forget me. I hope someone finds this." Some of the people you'll hear about today survived, some didn't. But all of them believed the same thing while recording. This might be the last time anyone hears my voice. This video isn't just about fear or tragedy, it's about the people we love. The mistakes we wish we could undo. The words we never say until we think it's too late. So as you hear these stories, try to listen not just to what they said, but to what they meant. Because these recordings are not about death. They're about what truly matters while we're alive. Take a deep breath, let's begin. Story 1. The boy who recorded a voice that shouldn't exist. Our first story begins quietly in a small countryside home where a teenage boy was staying with his grandparents for the weekend. No danger, no mystery, just a peaceful break from school. He wandered around the property filming random clips with his phone. The garden, the barn, the sky. Just the kind of footage bored teenagers collect without even thinking. Later, lying on the couch, he played one of the clips back, and that's when he heard it. A faint whisper under the sound of the wind. "Run." He sat up, frowning. First he laughed, thinking maybe he breathed into the mic or bumped the phone. But curiosity pushed him to play it again. This time the whisper felt intentional. Still, he shook it off. A couple hours later, outside again, he filmed the backyard. A normal clip. Birds, trees, wind. Then it happened again. Clearer, louder. "Run." The camera shook as he spun around. No one was there, no one was hiding. There weren't even neighbors close enough to pull off a prank. He ran inside, visibly shaken, and showed the clip to his grandfather. He expected confusion, maybe even laughter, but instead, his grandfather's entire expression collapsed into shock. "That voice," the old man whispered. "It sounds like your father." The boy's father had died years earlier, in an accident the family rarely talked about. The boy barely remembered the sound of his voice, but his grandfather did. And whatever he heard on that clip unsettled him deeply. He replayed it several times, his hands trembling each time the whisper came through. "That's exactly how he sounded the day he died," he said quietly. The boy didn't sleep that night. He locked his door, he kept the light on, and he didn't record anything else during that visit to this day. He still has the 2 clips on his phone. 2 warnings whispered by a voice that shouldn't exist. Was it a glitch? A voice carried by the wind? Something supernatural? He never found an answer, but he never went back to that house alone again. Story 2. The mother who recorded a goodbye on a falling plane. She boarded the plane like she had many times before. Calm, tired, ready to get home. Her husband was waiting for her. Their baby girl was 8 months old. Halfway through the flight, the plane hit turbulence. Nothing unusual at first. People adjusted in their seats, few nervous chuckles. But then it got worse, much worse. The plane jolted violently. Passengers screamed as the cabin shook like something was tearing the aircraft apart. Then the oxygen masks dropped. That was the moment panic replaced confusion. The woman grabbed her phone with trembling hands and hit record. Her breathing came in sharp, broken gasps around her. People shouted, prayed, cried out names. Her voice cracked as she whispered, If you see this, I'm so sorry. I love you so much. Please take care of our daughter for me. The plane dropped again. Hard, the sound of metal rattling filled the cabin. She sobbed into the camera, trying desperately to speak through fear. Tell her I love her. I'm so sorry. People around her were convinced the plane was going down. Then suddenly, silence. The shaking stopped, the engine steadied, the plane leveled out. A voice finally crackled through the speaker. We have regained control. Everyone remained seated. Relief crashed through the passengers like a wave. Some cried. Some laughed hysterically. Some sat frozen, unable to process what just happened. When they landed safely, the woman kept her phone in her hand, frozen. She couldn't watch the video. Not that day, not that month, but she didn't delete it. She said that recording changed her life, because death felt close enough to touch. It reminded her what mattered far more than all the small stresses she carried. She still hasn't watched it, but she never erased it either. Story 3. The diver who saw something in the dark. He was an experienced diver. Confident, skilled, calm. Not the type to panic. He strapped a GoPro to his chest as he descended into the water. First, everything was beautiful. Sunlight filtered down. Fish drifted lazily by. But as he went deeper, the light faded faster than usual. Too fast. The camera picked up his breathing. Steady at first, then increasingly sharp as the water around him grew darker than it should have been at that depth. One point. The video turns almost black. His breathing becomes frantic. He whispers into the regulator. If someone finds this, tell my mom I tried. A shadow passes across the frame, but it's impossible to identify. Something large, something close. He kicks upward violently. His breaths grow louder, more desperate. Seconds feel like minutes. When he finally breaks the surface, he rips off his mask and gasps like a man being reborn. He survived, but he never dove again, not once. Whenever friends asked him what he saw down there, he always said, I don't know. But his voice always trembled when he said it. Story 4. The lost hiker who recorded her fear. She was a teenager hiking with friends on a trail known for unpredictable weather. When rain hit earlier than forecasted, chaos followed. She became separated from the group. Her phone battery was low. The forest turned dark quickly. After hours of trying to find her way, she realized she was completely lost. She sat beneath a tree, opened her camera, and pressed record. Her voice trembled. If anyone finds this, love you. I don't think I'm getting out tonight. Thunder cracked behind her. Rain soaked her clothes. Her hands shook uncontrollably. She apologized for childhood mistakes, for things her parents probably never thought twice about. She whispered that she was scared, really scared. Eventually, her battery died. Search teams found her the next morning, cold, dehydrated, terrified, but alive. When she watched the video later, she cried harder than she did while recording it. Story 5. The man trapped in his car. Driving at night can be peaceful, until a single moment changes everything. He fell asleep for half a second. The car veered off the road, rolled down an embankment, and slammed into a tree. When he regained consciousness, he couldn't move. His legs were pinned, the door was jammed, his phone was just within reach. He hit record. I don't know if anyone's coming. If someone finds this, tell my brother I'm proud of him. Tell my mom I'm sorry for everything. His voice faded in and out as shock took over. He tried to stay awake. He tried to breathe calmly. He tried to believe he would be found. And he was a truck driver by pure chance, saw a glint of metal off the road and stopped. Rescuers freed him just in time. His phone was still recording. These stories teach us something profound. When people face death, everything becomes clear. Nobody talks about money or status or pride. No one mentions the things we chase every day. People talk about love, about regret, about family, about the moments they feared would slip away forever. Goodbye recordings are haunting, but they're also reminders of what truly matters long before we reach our final moment. Some of these people survived, some didn't, but all of them gave us the same message. Life is fragile, time is unpredictable, and the people we love, they are everything. So before this video ends, ask yourself, if you had 10 seconds left, who would you think about? And what would you wish you had said sooner? 'Cause you still have time. More than they believed they had. Cherish it.